everybody. My name is Martha Alter Hines with Living the One Light. Welcome. And in this video, I am going to almost entirely channel a message that's relevant anytime regarding releasing storylines, patterning, you could call it programming of fear, essentially. So I'm being asked by the spirit world to channel something, essentially to help us release anxiety, patterning of anxiety and fear that doesn't serve us. And so I'm recording this on Friday, July 18th, 2025, and I'm going to mention just a little bit about the current astrology, because what I often say is that the astrology of the moment that I happen to do a video or do a channeling, to me, sets up a kind of medicinal vibrational quality for what is emanating through the video, like kind of like a flower essence or homeopathic remedy that is relevant anytime, but has a particular vibrational essence to it, right? So I'm just going to mention this partly for those of you who happen to be watching this soon in the next few days, because this is a very relevant topic right now. But also, so if you're watching it even years in the future, you get a feeling of vibrationally what's going on cosmically as I'm doing this. So, yeah. So what part of what's going on right now is, we have Mars in Virgo approaching the South Node in Virgo, and it'll be exactly conjunct the South Node in Virgo, 19 degrees of Virgo on this Sunday, so July 20th, 2025. And as Mars is coming to meet with the South Node of the Moon, Venus is actually squaring the nodes of the Moon in Gemini. So it's really interesting. So in other words, Venus and Mars are squaring each other. So that one way to think of them is the inner masculine and the inner feminine, or the divine masculine and divine feminine, or principles of action, and maybe, Venus, whatever they mean to you, but Venus stereotypically kind of a more of a orientation of relating and love and value, self-value, that kind of thing. Listening. Yeah. So, and our emotions and all of that. And as also as I'm recording this, Uranus not very long ago also entered Gemini. So with this very strong Virgo energy and Gemini energy happening right now, both energies, especially with Uranus in Gemini and Mars, they're both very activating in those two signs. There can be a strong potential for us to be feeling a lot of nervousness, or because all of the Virgo, Gemini, and Uranus all have to do with the nervous system. And so there could be a heightened sense of anxiety right now, even like a feeling like our body vibrating in a way that maybe is uncomfortable. And with Mars coming to the South Node, that can really be supporting us to even more radically release out of balance versions of the Virgo energy. And I actually, if you want to hear more about just the Mars conjunct the South Node energetic, I created the first of the members only videos, or the walk-in talk videos, which are now available, and you can join that membership if you want. No pressure at all. But I did do the first one on the Mars conjunct the South Node, and as I was walking through the woods, and it's a very Virgo wind experience. Yeah. And this weekend I'll do the second, when I'm doing them around at least once a week when I happen to be on my walks nearby. I live in a really beautiful location on the coast of California and right by a butterfly preserve, eucalyptus grove, and walking distance to the beach and the very secluded ocean beach spot. So this weekend I have time and I'm gonna go over there hopefully and do another one of those. Yeah, but in general, the Mars coming to the South Node in Virgo can kind of speed up the process of where the South Node is, right? Wherever the South Node happens to be can be an opportunity for us to be releasing whatever's out of balance with that energetic and also bringing in the gifts of that energetic. So I've talked about that in other places. I think I did a video back in January where I talk about the nodes now in Virgo and Pisces through the houses. And the nodes will be in Virgo and Pisces for another year before they move into Leo and Aquarius, which is a whole other thing. And I will be definitely making more videos about that. But to have the South Node in Virgo in general can be an opportunity for us to be releasing out of balance sense of self-criticism, again, anxieties, kind of like an overactive mind or getting, like anything, any kind of out of balance energetics with our relationship with our body. So, in other words, coming into balance and harmony with ourselves, with all of this. So, I'm going to let the channeling say more because that's the point here. Um, and and then at the same time, what's also fascinating about the today, why I think I'm being guided to record this today specifically, is that Mercury is the ruler of Virgo and Gemini, right? So, and last night Mercury went retrograde in Leo. So, yeah, so there's like just so much support right now for us to be releasing and reevaluating, coming into the sacred temple of ourself and letting go of patterning that doesn't serve. So if there's anxiety coming up, well, maybe it's there to be released to help us just move on from that sense of patterning. And the very, very last thing Martha Me will say about that right this second is I've been really thinking about the fact that, of course, there is so much trauma happening on the planet right now. It's undeniable, right? So there's all kinds of reasons that we could be feeling anxiety, fear, etc. Both because there might be things going on in our own lives that are very anxiety producing, but at the least, we are, if you're watching this video, you're probably a highly empathetic person, and we can feel the fear and the anxiety that is so rampant all over the world and is very, very understandable to say the least, right? So many people's lives in total terror right now. So, and in addition, something I've been really, really, this is like something I'm just personally pondering on is I think for most of us, this is true for me, but for most of us who have a sense that we've had many, many lifetimes on the planet Earth, which I do, I very strongly identify with Earth as home in a lot of ways personally. And I can remember many of my lifetimes here for a very long time. If I think of all of the lifetimes I can consciously remember as of now, they're all incredibly traumatic, like extremely traumatic. And in my case, they have a theme. I think a lot of our sense of our own past lives often have themes, and that I would say the biggest theme in my own journey that I can consciously remember or have a sense of remembering is trauma experienced by the feminine during patriarchy. I mean, that's the way to sum it up, right? And that's still going on, clearly. And not just women or girls experiencing trauma, but the feminine being so defiled and not honored, and really honestly the masculine not being honored either. So yeah, that's my own story, but in all kinds of ways I think it's pretty rare for us to have conscious memories of past lives that were not traumatic. And that got me really, I sort of, that crossed my mind the other day. Um, and my guides, and this might come in the channeling, they guided me to actually go back and remember and be present, fully and re-embody lifetimes that have been um, healing, joyful, in balance. And that's ultimately what we are, right? We are source itself. We are the divine. And in that ultimate truth of the divine, that includes all this trauma, etc. But it is the truth of existence before trauma, or the purity of light um, and love, including but also regardless of trauma. Yeah. So anyway, so I just say all that as a preface to the main point here is what's going to come through in this channeling. Yeah, but this is just a beautiful, beautiful moment where, with all these transits happening right now, and also our eclipse seasons coming up this September 2025, and then February and March of 2026. The South Node still will be in Virgo, and yeah, that's all, again, the whole other topic I will make other videos about. But we really, really powerfully, we're coming into the eclipse energy now. This is middle of July 2025, and for sure I'm already feeling the energy of the eclipse season in September 2025. It happens to aspect my own chart very powerfully, so that's probably part of why I'm already feeling it, but we're already in that energetic. And so, yeah, so I just feel this possibility, this opportunity for us to radically shift our relationship to these Virgo energies, that sense of fear, that sense of anxiety, really bring through the positive, healing, balanced, beautiful Virgo energy, and the North Node in Pisces really supporting that transformation, with radical forgiveness, with pure unconditional love, our connection to ourselves as the divine, the ultimate oneness of everything, etc. Yeah, so that energy is just really strong right now, but it's maybe even stronger in the eclipse times of coming up, again, September 2025 and March of 2026. So yeah, so please, but enjoy this anytime it calls to you. It's relevant. If you happened upon it, it's perfect. Okay. All right, let's do the channeling. Okay. Thank you for being here. Okay, hello and welcome. Beautiful soul, beautiful being, beautiful temple of love, of the divine, of earth and light as one, cosmos, star, light, and all of the above. So I am here as an emanation, a being, a goddess, energetic, really of you. So differently and perfectly configured specifically for you. I'm here as a goddess, you could say, of the temple keeper of your being, who is literally a temple created by Gaia as a conduit of light and the divine, breathing, living as a being of Gaia herself. And I'm here as a guide, a protector, a friend, companion, an aspect of your own being, sort of in a sense like a higher self, but also a lower self, but a bridge of earth and light as you. Really similar to the Virgo Pisces dance of you. And I'm here to help you, to support you, to anchor into the essence, the true reality of who and what you are as a being of Gaia in the ultimate sense, as you are breathing in and out as Gaia, as light, as the divine, as one. So there are going to be a couple different components today in this journey, in this experiencing of yourself in this way. I also would perhaps point you to the Wholeness Way series, which is entirely free. If you haven't accessed that yet, I highly recommend that. That will be a great supplement to this experience. But in this particular time together, this particular video, what I'm here to support you in, again, is first in grounding into the reality of yourself as a sacred temple being of earth and the divine as one. And then I'm going to also support you, because the vast majority of you, very likely if you're listening to this, you've had in perhaps many lifetimes experiences of being a sacred temple keeper or a sacred priestess or a sacred healer in many different forms, in times when being and manifesting in those ways was not safe for you, or you felt unsafe. And during the time of great forgetting of this planet, of existence, you as a being, a bearer of light and of the divine, you often chose to incarnate into times of great difficulty to be a wisdom keeper, a healer, a bearer of light, a reminder of light, like a flame in the darkness, a holder of light, so that even in the times of great forgetting, there was a vibration and a quality of remembering as you. And yet at the same time, while on one level that is absolutely true, that you have been a torch bearer in a sense of divinity, of light, you also experienced in many different forms, likely, not necessarily, but more often than not, you've experienced or you've witnessed incredible tragedy over and over and over and over again. So on a DNA level, on a body cellular level, you've come into this lifetime with your physical ancestry also having experienced likely incredible suffering, deep sorrow, tragedy, wars, torture, terror of all kinds. And so that's part of what has gone on as your physical body came into this world, and also your consciousness has entered this lifetime. And so on the one hand, you having that patterning has served a purpose, and then of course now we are in the time of great remembering, and that patterning is no longer helpful, does not serve. So in this time today, I am here to support you in the exact right timing for you to radically let go of the patterning based in fear. So the fear-based patternings, the fear-based you could say connections or structural ways of being, habits that your nervous system has gotten into, that you're even on a cellular level, the world essentially has a collective chronic PTSD. That's one way to put it. And so part of what I'm here to do, a humongous part, almost more than anything, of what Martha is here to do as a being, and many of you play this role as well in your own ways, is to support us from moving from that time of great forgetting, which has involved incredible trauma, into the time of great remembering, and really essentially, as much as possible, moving out of that state of chronic trauma and that PTSD experience. So, for example, some common experiences of the post-traumatic stress disorder stereotypically are jumpiness, hypervigilance, sort of expecting terrible things to happen, having nightmares, those kinds of things. And that patterning, again, almost never actually serves in the moment that we happen to be in. So if there's not an actual immediate danger, the jumpiness and the hypervigilance and the anxiety, the fear, don't serve in any productive way. So coming into this time of great remembering, there's a absolutely crucial need, essentially, to support the nervous system to relax, to rewire itself, to even to remember that while there are certainly current day traumas happening, that's extremely real, it is very crucial for the body, the nervous system, even the spirit and the soul to be held in a way so that it can remember, it can discern what is real in this moment, and what am I reacting to from the past or from the collective, or what is my patterning here that is actually no longer reflective of my exact present moment. So, taking a long, slow, deep breath. This is going to be different for each of you, of course, and you may come back to this and feel this in different ways. But in this moment, what we're going to most consciously or verbally focus on is supporting a releasing of patterning of especially past lives, where there is an expectation that if you are a wisdom keeper, a healer, if you have what has been termed quote unquote supernatural abilities or powers, somehow that is scary. In this lifetime, that does not typically need to feel scary or life-threatening. In this lifetime, if you're watching this video, probably there's some way in which you can have access to some kind of supportive community, such as Martha's free community, the Living the One Light community. That's the entire purpose of it, is for it to be a sanctuary and a safe place for all of who you are, all of your gifts to come fully back online and to feel held and safe as those very, very needed, beautiful abilities that are natural to you come fully back consciously and integrate in a healthy, grounded, safe way into who exactly all of who you really are and always have been, even. So again, there are many, many different kinds of traumas that most humans have experienced in this lifetime and many other lifetimes. But in this, for the purposes of this video, we're just going to focus specifically, in our words at least, on the traumas associated for many or most of you in other lifetimes of having been what you could call a witch or a healer or a temple keeper or a priestess, you know, any of those kinds of archetypes, especially as the feminine, but as any gender identity. So if and when this feels exactly right for you, I invite you again to take another long, slow, deep breath, and I invite you to imagine yourself coming into a beautiful, sacred, completely safe, magical place, wherever that happens to be, maybe in a magical woods. But please find yourself wherever is just right for you. We're going to speak as though you're in a magical woods, but again, it could be literally anything. And your soul, your spirit knows exactly what's right for you in this moment, in any given moment. So taking another long, slow, deep breath, I invite you to find yourself in this magical place, maybe in a clearing in this magical woods. And as you find yourself in this place, you can see not too far in the distance, just up ahead, an incredible, amazing, exquisite, divine temple. This temple is you. So again, the exact configuration of the temple, the way the temple looks, etc., is going to be different for every single being, and might even be different from moment to moment. Whatever you see or experience or know is exactly perfect and right for you. And if and as it feels right, we invite you now to make your way slowly up toward the entryway of this divine temple of you. And we invite you to come to the doorway, perhaps open the doorway, maybe ask permission of your own being to enter this temple of you. We invite you to come inside. And Martha has previously done a guided experience of being the temple of you, and you may already have experienced that, or Martha can link that here. But in general, we invite you to look around in this side of this inner beautiful temple of you. Notice the walls. What is this temple made of? Perhaps there's fresh air flowing in and out. And again, to explore the temple itself more deeply, we invite you to the experience Martha will link here. But we invite you right now to find a place in the center of the temple, perhaps to sit down or lie down. Actually, we recommend, if it feels right, to be sitting down or standing. And taking another long, slow, deep breath, we invite you to feel and see as a powerful orb of light, divine light, comes down through that temple of you to the top of your head, to the crown of your head, surrounding your body, holding you, and then going down all the way into the center of Gaia herself. And then we invite you to feel as this light of the divine surrounds you and then begins to fill in your body and begins to connect in, especially with that inner golden seed at the back of your heart, and then the light codes of you emanating from that golden seed of you. And if you are not familiar with this, we highly recommend the video recently channeled by Martha for the Uranus and Gemini, where these light codes are ignited, and also actually her June solstice free gathering, both of which are very supportive of feeling this golden seed at the back of your heart and then the light codes emerging from that. So Martha will link all of those too. And so again, you can feel and imagine this golden seed in the back of your heart that's the essence of you. And that seed ignites. And the light codes that are you, that are the intelligence of the divine as you, they begin to emerge, just like the roots and the shoot of a plant would begin to emerge from a seed. And the light knows the way. The light begins to find its way through your whole body system, and then out to this whole temple, the being of you as a temple of Gaia and divine as one. And then the light codes themselves may keep going and just fill this whole sacred forest where your divine temple is, and then keep going even farther to connect with all of the light codes of Gaia herself, all the trees, the light codes of the trees, the light codes of everything. And then beyond Earth, to the cosmos, to every single star who is light itself. And throughout all of time and all of space, reconnecting into the light grid of the entire time-space continuum and existence itself. And then taking another long, slow, deep breath, we invite you to feel yourself still centered in that temple of you, now connected with the light through the light codes of you, your own being, to all of time and all of space, the whole cocoon of the time-space continuum. And then on the outside of the membrane of the entire time-space continuum, you can feel and imagine massive beings of light. Somewhat like angels, they might appear or manifest in infinite ways for you, but these are incredibly powerful beings, which are actually other manifestations of yourself and of all of us, many of us. These are massive ancient beings whose role is to be holding the whole time-space continuum, similar to that Cheroklo energy that many of you are very familiar with. Just holding all of time and all of space, similar to doing like a Reiki treatment. Not trying to act, just holding healing space continuously. And really infusing the membrane of the time-space continuum with divine healing, light, and unconditional love all the time. And then taking another long, slow, deep breath, we invite you to imagine and feel in your own being, your own body, your own energy body system, your physical body system, your cellular memory. You might have literal actual memories that come up, or you might not. It doesn't matter at all, actually. It really does not matter. Either way is absolutely perfectly fine. If memories come up, actually, we would encourage you not to get caught in the memories unless it feels as though there's a need or something helpful about diving into the memories themselves. But here what we're really doing is focusing on the energetics. So there doesn't need to be a narrative attached to them, and in a way, not having a narrative just allows the energy to flow more easily and quickly and more completely. So taking a long, slow, deep breath, we invite you to ask and give permission to, really invite and request from deep in your own cellular being, your own DNA memory, your own cellular memory, your own energy body system memory, your own collective memory, your own connection to collective memory, but this is really focusing on you. really keep this focused on an individual level for right this minute. We invite you to request that anything and everything from every single lifetime you have ever had as a being of Gaia, as a being in any and all places, spaces, dimensions, times, throughout the entire time-space continuum, any energetics of any experience, lifetime you've ever had that no longer serves, you can ask for that radically, those energies radically, to let go. And remember, you're being held, you're anchored in your own inner temple, you're anchored in your own light codes, and the light being is you, that is connected with all of time and all of space through the light grid of existence. So you're extremely grounded, extremely safe, and you can radically let that go. Any energies, any narratives, any storylines, especially anything and everything related to fear that does not serve. You can imagine it like as though you are in a garden and you're just pulling up roots from deep, 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 deep down in the earth. Gaia herself can even be supporting you to just, and the roots themselves actually can be just letting themselves be unearthed right here, right now. The roots themselves actually are part of this divine intelligence, of course, and they know that their time is now to be composted, in a sense, to be sent back into the light or to be recycled for the current energetics, the current needs of this time. That those deep, deep, deep roots that have been growing and serving in such a needed way during the time of great forgetting, now let go. The roots themselves let go. Gaia supports them to let go. And you can actively support the roots to let go. These are roots of patterning based in fear, based in anxiety, based in terror, based in trauma, based in extreme grief, sorrow, horrific experiences over and over and over again of this lifetime, of any and all other lifetimes, of yourself and or of the collective, but that you have somehow taken on in some way. They no longer serve, they are no longer needed, and they just easily, powerfully, radically, completely let go right now. This is very much an energetic of Mars in Virgo on the South Node in Virgo. and be absolutely done now. And the light itself, the light grid, can just take it. The roots themselves, they know exactly how to compost themselves back into light, how to dissolve, that this time of their life cycle is done, and that they became rooted in that way, really ultimately in a desire to protect, in a desire to serve as love in some way. But now they serve as love by letting go and by dissolving back into love itself, light itself, and leaving the ground and your own being free. Complete, total freedom. And again, taking another long, slow, deep breath. You can feel as these root systems of the patterning of fear are radically, powerfully, and yet gently and easefully in the exact right timing, you might literally feel them leaving every part of your body, every part of your being. You might feel it leaving your liver, your heart, your voice, your throat, your third eye, your brain, your crown chakra, your womb, your first chakra, your third chakra, your gut. And as these root systems of fear leave, again, we invite you to take some more long, slow, deep breaths. And feel this powerful difference. You can feel as your body systems, your organs, your energy body systems, your chakra systems all begin to adjust to the extra space, to their freedom, maybe even a sense of greater flexibility or more oxygen rushing in to your organ systems, your body systems, your etheric body systems, your energy body systems. And we invite you to just be slow and easy and breathe in and out. And feel what it is to feel free. Free of the patterning of fear that does not serve. It's not needed anymore. and the fear patterning itself again, knowing that it's time for it to leave. And so it did. And it does, and it's continuing to leave from every single cell of your being, every atom, every subatomic particle, every organ of your being. Just feel it go. And that is such a powerful shift that we're going to close here today. We'll come back in another video. As Martha was mentioning before, there's this actual need and potential incredible healing in either remembering or even imagining or just embodying lifetimes of great joy and healing and wholeness and love. So again, we really highly encourage you to access and enjoy the entire Wholeness Way series that is completely free, that Martha will link here, that many of you already are part of. But if you haven't accessed it yet, or if it calls to you again, we strongly recommend that. But in another video, Martha will also, we will channel a sort of part 2 to this video, where we'll support you to feel, remember, imagine, and embody existences, lifetimes of joy, contentment, total safety, where you are known and absolutely powerfully celebrated as the light that is you, the healing, beautiful being that is you, as a healer, as a priestess, as a temple keeper, as a wisdom keeper, all of those things. So in this video, we're really supporting you to radically let go of the patterning of fear associated with all of that, and just fear in general, or the out of balance version of fear, the not helpful version of fear. And then in the part 2 video, we will help you to anchor in the embodiment of what it is to be seen and held and deeply known and celebrated for the true essence of the beautiful healer being or temple keeper being, the essence of the spirit and all of the gifts that are uniquely you. So we look forward to bringing that through very soon as well. And so before we close today, again, we just invite you to continue to feel as these root systems radically leave your body, your being. They know it's time to go. Just like any other form of life, there's a time of birth, there's a time of growing, there's a time of blooming, and there's a time of letting go. So these root systems know it's time to go. They served in the time of great forgetting, and the way they serve in the time of great remembering now is to relax, release fully, radically back to the light. And so it is. Amen. Okay, so please stay with that as long as you want, as long as you need. No need to rush out of it at all. And please come back to this recording as often as you want, as often as you need. When you feel ready to come fully back to your body, to this moment, if it feels helpful, you can rub your hands on your arms. You can rub your hands on your legs. You can bring your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. I hope that felt good. Felt great for me. My Virgo moon and Virgo ascendant self. Awesome. Yes, and the very last thing I will say is yesterday you may have already seen that the Apple version of the free Living the One Light app is now out. So the Google version apparently takes several weeks longer than Apple to get the app up and running. But if you have an Apple device, an Apple phone, or an Apple iPad, you can download the app for free, and I would love for you to do that. Yeah, and then I will announce, of course, when the Google version is ready. But yeah, I'll say more about that in other places. Just want to kind of leave this experience here and leave myself in this experience too. But actually, more than anything, that app is my goal and my hope and my directive from the spirit world is that the app itself actually will serve to be like this temple of ourselves individually and then of soul community to really support actually precisely what that video was just what the channeling was just talking about, that. Now that I think of it. Beautiful. Yeah. And I'm guessing record this part 2 they're mentioning in the next few days or next week. We'll see when they want it to come through. Yeah, but please share with us anything that came alive for you, anything you feel called to share, either here or in the free community, which you can access on my website, livingtheonelight.com, or now through this app, the Living the One Light app. I'll put the link for the app here, but also you can just go on the Apple App Store and search Living the One Light, and it should pop up. All right. Thank you. See you soon.